Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today we're going to be doing our April edition of the House prediction video. I know, it's almost May! Shut up, alright? I know, look, the reason I didn't do it in early April is simple. It's been, slow with redistricting, but now we finally have some clarity as what the districts are currently. And of course, we still got 4 states that have no frickin' clue what's going on. Kansas just got struck down. New York just got struck down. Missouri, who frickin' knows? New Hampshire can't even get 2 districts. So yeah, we still got 63 districts that are still not decided. But for now, we still got such a vast majority of the districts. I'm going to be doing a new prediction based on these districts. And as you can tell here, a buddy of mine on Twitter filled out the map on the districts that, either way, they're going to vote Republican. Now, as you can tell, there's some interesting ones, like Brian Fitzpatrick's district in Pennsylvania. The reason that is considered a vote red no matter who is simple. Fitzpatrick wins by like 15 points at minimum every single time. And he's going to win by a lot in the red wave here. So that district's not flipping. So yeah, that's why some of these districts are considered vote red no matter who. And of course, there's some other districts that are borderline, vote red no matter who. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below. If you subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, I'm sorry, I almost messed it up. That would have been embarrassing. But yeah. So this is, again, the April edition, and most of these, hot takes, I guess you could say, will be based on the data of each district, the demographics, and how they're trending, all that good stuff. And again, this is a big thing I have to clarify. Any district that Biden won by at most 13 points, I can consider them potentially competitive. So, for example, if Biden won a district by 12 points, there's a chance, based on if there's a good candidate running, that it could be a competitive seat. So again, that may seem crazy, but with the current national environment, yeah, that's not so crazy to say. So let's get right into it. So let's start, of course, with the great state of Arizona. And let's get, one of these out of the way right off the bat. Arizona's new 2nd district. This is to be Arizona's first. Look, guys, I'm about to put this in vote red no matter who. No matter what you do, Republicans are going to win that seat by a minimum 12 points. At the absolute bare minimum, it became more white working class. That's all I gotta say. And it's a Trump-friendly district that actually trended a bit Republican, so it's not that crazy to say. And the other quite easy one to predict is District 6. Do I gotta say much? It went from a Biden plus 11 seat to a Biden plus basically 0 seat. It's a neutral district. In this environment, the incumbent's not even running. Yeah, just flip that to the Republicans. That's a very easy flip. This was a well-done map by the Arizona GOP. Now we get to the 2 districts that, very interesting. District 4 is where Greg Stanton is. That's that Phoenix district right in the middle. And look, if Greg Stanton wasn't running, I think this district could flip. But with Stanton running, he's fairly popular. I don't see him losing. It's going to be within probably 5 points, like a lean district. But for now, I still have Stanton winning. And as for Arizona's first, I think that Republicans win this seat. Again, it's a Biden plus 4 seat, but very questionable that, or Biden plus 1 seat. With this current environment, plus some very interesting things that happen there, I really don't think, it's going to flip at all. I think it may trend a bit Republican, actually. So yeah, Arizona, in my opinion, Republicans flip 2 districts. That is a big W. And now we get to the meme of all memes, Nevada. Can I just quickly glance over this? Let's see here. Nevada's 4th, I think, Democrats barely win as of now, like 2-3 points. The other 2 districts I have I do have District 3 going to Republicans by a lean margin. As for District, I think that's 2. Yes, District 1, actually, excuse me. I have Republicans winning the seat as well by half a point or so. Quite simple. Like, why would you redistrict that? They made District 1 from a Biden plus 25 seat to a Biden plus 9 seat. Like, what are you doing? And with Nevada's 4th, the only reason I don't think Democrats are going to lose a seat as of now is the incumbents running. And it became a bit more Biden-friendly. There's still a chance she loses, but as of now, yeah, I don't really see that place going anywhere anytime soon. Now we get to the great state of California. And there's going to be a couple hot takes here and there. But again, I'm going to get this out of the way right off the bat. Mike Garcia is going to win. He's going to win by like 3 or 4 points. Yes, it became a bit more Biden-friendly. Yes, Biden won this by 13. However, this is the big however. Mike Garcia is an electoral beast. And in a red wave here, yeah, I think he's going to win by 2 or 3 points. Absolutely. I mean, he won by like, what was it, by like a couple hundred votes in 2016 or 2020? Yeah, in a red wave here, I think he can win. He's fairly well liked, and it only became a Biden plus 12 seat. If it was Biden plus 15, he may be in trouble, but he isn't. So, as of now, I have Mike Garcia holding on. Now, for District 26, look, I think it's going to be closer than usual. I mean, it became a bit more Trump-friendly, became a bit more white, but I don't think, barring a Mike Garcia type or a candidate we'll get to in a little bit, I highly doubt this district flips, though with the math, with the demographic shifts, I do think this seat will be within 10 points. And we gotta zoom in to the LA districts, because why do you draw like this? So, these districts I can barely see. This is my issue with California's maps. Now, for District 49, I mean, I don't think that's gonna be a reasonable, flip. I mean, I think Democrats will win that seat by like 2 or 3 points, but it will be closer. Absolutely. I think it will be closer than usual. Now we get to district, I think that's 47, yes. Here's the thing. It became more Biden-friendly. At the same time, all right, by like a half point, it became more white. Now, I'm not saying Democrats going to lose this seat, but I do think it's going to be one of the closer seats in California this year. Now, Republicans run like a Garcia type. It could flip, but I don't think there's really anybody like that right now. Again, I could be wrong, but I can't think of anybody like that. Now we have California's 43rd. Again, like, it's so jammed in there. I believe that's the 43rd district, or 45th, excuse me. Again, it became more Trump-friendly, actually. So this is one of the only seats in California that, became more Trump-friendly and, better for the Republicans. In a hot take, look, I know this is one of those LA districts. I think Republicans still win this seat. I think this is Michelle Steele's seat? It's one of the Republicans down here. I can't see it exactly. It's like, why is it so jammed in there? But I do think this is Michelle Steele's seat. I don't know. But either way, I do think Republicans win this seat. Biden only won it by 6 points, and as we saw in 2020, that really doesn't mean much. Especially with his unpopularity, it is a Republican seat that became a bit more Republican. So yeah, I don't think that's crazy at all. Now we get to the depressing districts. District 22. Just why? I mean, just why? Why did Devin Nunes need to get screwed over like that? It was very sad what happened with Devin Nunes. Again, this was his district. It was absolutely stupid what happened. I mean, they took out an incumbent representative by not just, 1 or 2 points. No. They made this a Biden plus 11 seat. Now, again, do I think a Republican could win this seat or a Biden plus 13 seat? Do I think a Republican could win this seat? Yeah, but as of now, I don't see any Republicans realistically winning this seat. Now we get to the hot take of all hot takes. California's 13th. If David Gilgo, I think that's how you say his name, alright, Gilgo, whatever. Point is this. The only way Republicans win this seat, and which, by the way, if they get this represented or Republican, they're going to win by a lot. David Gilligo, I think that's how you say his name. This is the only candidate that would win this district by a lot. I mean, this is a 75%, non-white district. But at the same time, it's very, very working class. And David Gilligo, again, that's how I think you pronounce his name. I could be wrong. I think he wins a seat, and again, I think he's going to be the Republican. I think he wins a seat by like 3 or 4 points at minimum. He's the only one who could win, and he would win by a lot. I mean, look up David Gilligo. He's a Chad on the issues, and he's running a Biden plus 12 district or whatever it is. So yeah, he could absolutely win. I do think he'll win. I think he has a great ground game. He has my full support, and I do hope he wins. Now we get, I think this is California's 9th. I don't think, Democrats, are going to lose that seat at all. I think it's kind of just going to stay there. I don't think, it'll shift a bit Republican, but I don't think much will change in those districts. Now we get to the interesting districts of Oregon. Now, I think District 5, look, I'm not going to mess around. I think District 5 flips. I truly do. I think especially with the governorship election, I mean, Republicans could do pretty good in that. And this district became a bit more white working class, more Trump-friendly. In this environment, Republicans could win this race. Absolutely. And I do think they will. Now, for District 4, I do think this is going to be a very tight race, but again, I don't think the incumbent's running again. I think, he retired. But even so, I have a hard time believing this district will flip. Again, yeah, I mean, it is, a bit white working class, but it's still, 30%, bachelor's degree. It's one of those seats I just do not think Republicans can win unless they get a really good candidate, which is possible. But for now, I have this seat as tilt Democrat. Now we get to Washington. There's really only one seat that we need to be talking about. Washington's 8th. The guy's dead on arrival. I mean, the Republicans going to win this seat. It's a matter of by how much. But I do think Republicans will win this seat by 4 or 5 points by a lean margin. And I know many of you are going to say, what about District 3? That's going to be safe. Don't even start with this crap about Joe Kent can't win. Joe Kent's going to win by a lot. So, yeah. With that out of the way, we pretty much got the West Coast done. Now we got to come down to Colorado land. And, I mean, there's really only 2 districts that need to be talked about. I mean, Republicans only have a chance of winning 1. The only reason that Colorado's 7th is, technically in discussion as well, it was within 15 points for Biden, but I'm not going to waste my time. Democrats going to win this seat by like 8-9 points by a likely margin. Now we have District 8. And this is one of the cursed districts. This is a district that's actually trending Republican. You heard that right. It's a trending Republican seat in Colorado. With that in mind, I think Republicans win this race kind of easily by like 4 or 5 points. Again, it could be, closer, it could be wider. But as of now, I mean, you look at the data, it's like, I'm surprised Colorado did, gerrymander this district like that. Oh, and now we get to another doozy of a map. New Mexico. So let's get this right off the bat. New Mexico's first. I don't think, is going to flip. I think it'll be within 10 at best, but as of now, nothing's really indicating that this district is going to go Republican or anything like that. Now, District 2, I think Republicans will win handily. Yeah, it became a Biden plus 5 district, but the Republican who's representing this district, very popular, she's good on the issues, and it's one of those districts that's actually trending a bit Republican. Now we get to the controversial one, District 3. Again, this is going to be a hot take of all hot takes. I think if Republicans get the right candidate, they win this district by like a half point. It's going to be very close either way. It's a Biden plus 10 seat, yes. But with this environment, if it's Biden plus 15, sure, Democrats probably win it. It's Biden plus 10. That's not that big of a lead, especially in this current environment. So as of now, I do think New Mexico's, I think it's the third? Yes, New Mexico third will flip to the Republicans. And again, that's a big hot take, but whatever. You can sue me, I don't care. And now we get to the one of these gerrymanders, or I should say redistricting or districts, whatever, that many people criticize Republicans for, including me, for doing. However, at hindsight, I think this was a good decision. So let's get this out of the way right off the bat. District 15 flips. I mean, it's obvious. It's a Trump plus 3 district. I think District 28, either way, whoever the Democrat is, they're going to lose by 3 or 4 points, whether it's Kohler or the Progressive. Either way, Republicans get another flip. And now for District 34. This is a weird district. This is a very strange district. Now, if Gonzalez did, enter this race and run again, I think she would have won. All right, I think Gonzalez would have won this seat. All right, if he would have ran, I think he would have won this race. However, he's not running. He retired, and I do think Republicans win the seat barely. There's a very good candidate there. Maya Flores, I mean, not really good. She's good, and I think she's going to win. And Republicans are getting a Republican trending seat in like a 93% Hispanic district. Yeah, I think Republicans are going to win the seat. Very close, but it is another flip to the Republican column. So that's all the, I guess you could say all like the Western states pretty much done well. Except Nebraska's second. Don Bacon's going to win. Don Bacon's going to win by, at bare minimum, 9 points. This can be borderline vote red no matter who. But it is a bit of a Democrat trending seat. So I guess you could say it's potential that it could flip to the Democrats in a very weird situation. But I don't see that happening. Now we get District 3 in Iowa. Yeah, that's dead on the rival representative there. Now we get to Minnesota. We're going through these a lot because a lot of these are just common sense. District 2. This is a district that Biden won by 7.5 points. Now, look, it's only 20% non-white. The issue, 40.5% of the people in this district have a bachelor's degree. With that said, I think Republicans pull this race off with the skin of their teeth. It's going to be very close. I think it'll be within a half point or so, but I do think if Republicans get the correct candidate, they can absolutely win this seat. Wisconsin's third, I'm not going to mess with that. Van Orden's going to win. He's going to win by a lot. He's going to win by like 9-10 points at minimum. Democrats don't have a real candidate. It's a Trump plus 5 seat. Yeah, we're not going to have to discuss this race at all. I mean, that's the only competitive seat in Wisconsin, and it's borderline not competitive. Now we get Illinois, which again, everybody knows, the gerrymander of old gerrymanders. This was disgusting when this happened, but it did happen. Now, I think Republicans actually flip a couple seats here. I think District 17 is a good example. This went from a Trump seat to a Biden plus 8 seat. However, Sherry Bustos, she retired. And Republicans seems like they have a couple decent candidates. I think King is running again. And Democrats just have nobody. And with that in mind, I do think this is a seat that it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very close, just like I think Minnesota's third. But it's going to be a Republican flip as of now. Now, we get a couple of these districts. District 13, for example. I'm not even going to mess around with that. I think, Democrats, I think they're going to win that seat. But like 3 or 4 points, it's where Springfield is. Yeah, Biden won it by 11, but it's like, it's one of those seats that I don't think Republicans are going to win. I mean, it could be closer than expected, but I do think this is one of those flips for the Democrats. Now we get to Chicagoland, and this is where it gets a bit interesting. District 14, for example. Yes, it became more Biden-friendly. However, it did become a bit more minority working class. With that said, I don't think Democrats lose it. I do think it'll be closer than expected. I think Democrats only win this seat by 3 or 4 points as of now. But there is one other seat in the Chicagoland area, District 6. Here is why I think Democrats only win this seat by, half point. This is why. It became a Biden plus 11 district after being a Biden plus 13 district. It became 51%, bachelor's degree to only 41%. And the non-white population only went up by 1%. With all that in mind, it's not crazy to say Republicans can't win this, or can win this. Now, I don't think they're going to, but still, I think it's going to be a lot closer than expected, and a lot of people should be paying attention to this race, absolutely. Now, District 1. This is a weird one. If Republicans in Indiana had a spine, this would flip. But there is a fairly popular incumbent here. It is a Biden plus 9 district. It is becoming more Republican. It's trending Republican. It's a very working class area. With that said, I think Democrats, barely hold on. Though I think it's going to flip in 2024 no matter what. Not crazy to say. Now Michigan. We have a couple, quite frankly, very simple ones. District 3. I think in this environment, you can run anybody. You can, realistically speaking, run anybody in this environment, and they would win by half point. Peter Meyer, you run, a John James type, whoever. I do think they win either way. Now, 2 or 3 points. Pick your poison. It's just one of those years that it is a Grand Rapids area, but if you get a good, popular local person in the Grand Rapids area that can win some of those old school Republicans, this is a district that I think Republicans can win easily. It's just, Trump really has made this part of the state trend Democrat. I mean, the Grand Rapids area, though I think things happened in 2020, still voted for Biden, but I think it was like 4 points, 5 points. It was weird. But either way, I think Republicans lose this or win the seat either way. Now, the other two, though, I'm not even gonna mess my time with. I mean, District 8 became more Trump-friendly. District 7, yes, became a bit more Biden-friendly, but it became more working class. So either way, I think those two flip. And as for District 10, another one of those that John James is going to win by a lot. He's going to win by 9-10 points. This is where Macomb County is. It's a fairly white working class county, or district, I should say. And John James is going to win fairly easily in this seat. Now we get to Ohio, and there's really only 3 that, we can kind of discuss. District 9. This is where Democrats got screwed in redistricting. This went from a Biden plus 19 seat to a Trump plus 3 seat. This is a very white working class area. That's where Toledo is. It even became more white after redistricting. And Republicans have a good candidate in Majowski in this seat. Absolutely, I think Republicans win this seat by a likely margin. Now, if you wanted the other candidates to win the nomination, it could be within 5 points. But with this environment, and Majowski, I think, is going to get the nomination, he's going to win by like 6-7 points at the bare minimum. Now we get Ohio's first. This is the Cincinnati area. This is a tough one. And the reason for that is simple. It's Cincinnati. This isn't, the white working class parts of the suburbs. This is the more establishment, bachelor's degree type of the suburbs that Cincinnati's part of. Now, do I think Republicans could win this seat? Yes, I think they will. But again, it's going to be one of those seats that is going to be very close to election night. Though there is a fairly popular incumbent in the district, though. How much will he win by? I'm just going to play it safe as of now by half point. Now, as for District 13, I don't think, I got to say much. Yes, it became more, Biden-friendly. However, it did become a bit more, working class. Now, do I think Republicans win the seat by, 10 points or 11 points? No. But I do think they still flip it by, a 3-4 point margin fairly easily. Now, again, it is a suburb, I guess you could say, of Cleveland. But it is a bit more of a working class suburb. Alright, so District 17 in Pennsylvania. Some of these districts I don't gotta mess around with. I think this is an easy flip for Republicans. If Conor Lamb was running, I could see this district staying Democrat, but he isn't. He's running for the Senate race, shooting himself in the foot, but whatever. In the rest of these, I don't think, they're gonna stay Democrat, especially the Scranton area. They're not too happy with Joe, alright? So I do think both these seats go to the Republicans by a likely margin. Not crazy, it's just, based on demographic data and all that good stuff. Alright, New Jersey. New Jersey is another one of those seats where, New Jersey 7th. it became more Trump friendly. This is the only toss up of the state. Now, that said, it's still 51% of the college, or the population has a college degree. Does that mean everything? No. But it's one of those seats, though, I do think Democrats actually barely hold on. I just think it's a bit too college educated for the Republicans to currently win. Could that be proven false? Yes, just as of now, I think that's a bit too college educated. Now we get to the other districts, Connecticut and Rhode Island. Yes, there actually is a competitive Rhode Island seat. But first, Connecticut. I think with District 2, the incumbent's in big trouble. I mean, she has a bunch of scandals. I think it's District 2, yes. If it's not District 2, either way, I think the incumbent's screwed. A lot of corruption charges. As for the Democrat, they win the other seat. Now, if I flip these two on accident, I'm sorry, but I believe it's Connecticut 5th or 2nd. The incumbent's in big trouble. She's absolutely in huge trouble. As for District 5, I think it's the other seat. I just think Republicans don't have the strongest candidate as of now. Now we get the Rhode Island district. This is probably the one district people are like, what the fuck are you on? Why do you have Rhode Island as a competitive seat? Well, Rhode Island's 2nd. Not only did it become a Biden plus 12 seat, which again falls within the parameters, it actually has a very strong Republican running. Now, the Republican that's running is a definition of a rhino. With that said, though, he's running a very good campaign, he's well-liked, and he's well-known. And I think he wins it. I think this is the year we finally get, 2 Republican seats outside of, Maine 2nd in the Northeast. As for Maine 2nd, I think Jared Golden's probably done. I mean, yeah, he could. I think he's kind of liked in Maine 2nd, but with Biden's current administration and with Golden's questionable voting record, I think he may be done, though it'll be fairly close. Now we get to Maryland. We're almost done, folks. Maryland. District 6. Before, the courts did their thing, this was a safe seat. But the court said, yeah, no, you actually have to make this a fair district. Now, do I think Democrats have a chance of holding it? Yes. However, it became more white working class. Biden won the seat by only 10. And it appears Republicans have a decent candidate in this district. With that said, I think Democrats, they're going to fight like hell, but I do think they're going to just barely, by the skin of their teeth, lose this seat. Now, as for Virginia, look, District 10, I mean, that's going to be, possibly within 10 points. If what we saw in 2021 happens in 2020, that's easily going to be within 10 points, possibly within 5 points. But as of now, I don't think, Democrats going to lose that seat or anything like that. Now, District 7, though, that's Spangenberg's seat. Yeah, she's dead on arrival. She's just dead. There's no way she can win that seat. She's done. I mean, it's a Biden plus 6 district. She's just screwed. And as for District 2, this is another one of the seats I think Republicans kind of easily flip. I mean, it's not questionable. I mean, Biden only won this district by 3 points. And it became more working class. So with that in mind, yeah, it's the Virginia Beach area. This is kind of the home of, Youngkin. I think with that in mind, Republicans will flip another district. So already Republicans have a lot of flips this video. Now we get to North Carolina. Now before, I would say like a month ago, there was a really good map here. But of course, the state Supreme Court got involved and made some absurd rulings. With that in mind, though, we got to suck it up and we have to, use the districts we got. And I do think the new District 13, I think that's kind of an easy flip. Now, as for District 1, it's a Biden plus 9 seat. It became heavily more minority. I mean, that was ridiculous. It became a majority minority district. It's like, why? Yes, it became more working class, but it's like just stupidity. Now, with that in mind, though, I do think Republicans do barely, just ever so barely win this seat. It's a Biden plus 9 seat, and he's not doing so hot with minorities. So if they don't turn out, it's not that crazy to say that, well, Republicans could win that seat. Now we get to the one questionable district of the day. Georgia 2nd. You would think Republicans would win this. I don't think so. Look, Biden won it by 10, which should mean Republicans should win this seat. However, Republicans are, don't really have the best candidate here. Well, they do. It's just they're going to get such a strong incumbent. It's like, it's going to be so hard for the Republicans to win this seat. Now, if the Republicans get the right candidate, which they have a chance at, they could potentially get within like a half point. With that said, I just think Republicans, as of now, are going to lose Georgia second. Now we get to Florida, which, again, Ron DeSantis, my man, you gave us the map that possibly saved redistricting. Now, there's a lot of seats here that are competitive, or quote-unquote competitive, but, I mean, Florida's 28th, that's not, or Florida's second. Trump won it by 7.5. Yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. District 13, that's where Charlie Crisp used to be. I think that's Crisp District, I believe. Yeah, again, Trump won it by, 6? It's a very white working class district. Yeah, that's not going to flip either. Now, District 7, again, another one of these flips. This is such an easy map. Again, why didn't other, senators or states think to do this? I don't know. But there's so many easy flips here. I mean, it's not crazy. Now, we get to the Miami area. And this is where it gets a bit, interesting, because we all know what happened in 2020. Miami swung like 20 points Republican. It was nuts. Now, for District 28, that's not questionable. Now, for District 27, if it was before redistricting, probably like a lean Republican seat. But again, with how they redistricted it, it became a very working class district. Yes, it's 84% non-white, but Trump won this district by a half point. Go figure. So that's another one of those districts that you could run pretty much anybody there, well, outside of a certain candidate, and they would probably win that kind of easily. Now we get District 23. It's going to be closer because of the trends, but I do think Democrats will still hold on to this seat. And that's it, folks. That was the redistricting video or House prediction as of now. And as you could tell, I predicted some bold upsets. Some fairly bold upsets like North Carolina, Illinois, Rhode Island. With that said, though, even without Kansas, without Missouri, without New Hampshire, without New York, Republicans currently are sitting at, what is that? That's 228 House seats. We're for sure going to get at minimum 12 other seats in Missouri, Kansas, New York, and New Hampshire, possibly upwards of, 15 to 16. With that in mind, it's like, okay, Republicans potentially could have upwards of 250 in the House. That's pretty successful if Republicans get that. They have no excuse to stop this clown of a president. But as of now, again, Republicans have a majority in the House without 4 full states, which is like what? I think that's like 60 electoral votes, still out there, or districts. Absolutely, Republicans are going to have a majority now. It's a matter of what happens in the 4 other states. Anyways, thanks for sticking around to this 33-minute long video. This was my current prediction. A lot of upsets I'm predicting. Again, may seem bold, but that's just what it is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Very long video. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.